Kyle Bradford from Chaparral Motorsports here at the KTM Demo Ride Day, and we just had an opportunity to pull over the brand new 1290 Super Duke GT. This bike is phenomenal. This has a very striking pose that basically has the same stance as the super bikes that we're going to see at MotoGP. As you can see, the fairing and headlight of this bike has been completely redesigned for 2019. So some of the highlights for this new 1290 Super Duke GT is going to be the new handguards that we haven't before seen on this particular model of motorcycle. The updated LC8 motor is a 1301cc 75-degree V-twin engine. This year's GT now has 175 horsepower, which is up from 173 of years past. This bike packs tons of power. It's got the race-on keyless system from KTM, and optionally available is track mode, MSR, and HHC modes. It's got TPMS, heated grips, cruise control, and all of that is customizable and adaptable through the My KTM Ride display. Now, the thing that makes this bike really cool is this windscreen. The windscreen is a quick adjust windscreen that has 9 different settings. That's gonna give you the perfect amount of wind control for the various settings that you're gonna ride this bike in. The way that the traction control is set up on this bike is phenomenal. The optional track mode allows for 3 different ride modes: anti-wheelie off, TC slip adjust, and launch control. It's gonna allow you to have total adjustment and control. Now, it's also got that semi-active suspension that we've seen on the adventure bikes as well. Basically what that means is you're gonna be able to set the preloads before you ride, and then as you ride, it's gonna go ahead and micro adjust depending on the terrain. Whether you're a solo rider, whether you're solo with luggage, whether you're two up with luggage, it's gonna have lots of different suspension settings so that the bike is dialed when you start to take off. Now that we talked a little bit about the modes that the motor has and the suspension that this bike has and the looks that it's got, let's come on over here, fire it up, and scroll through the TFT display so we can see all those other goodies. The new 6.5 multifunctional TFT dashboard display allows you to see all of the important information in a clear and bright display with automatic adjustment to environmental light and a customizable layout. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the TFT display here. You can see all of your normal indicator lights here at the bottom. Here we've got ABS, traction control. This is the warning light that comes on if, say, your air pressure drops or there's an issue. Obviously, this is your low pressure light. You're gonna see your tachometer, you're gonna see your speed, your trip, your fuel consumption, odometer, date. The kill switch is currently on, so you can see that when you hit this kill switch to on, it's now gonna tell you that your side stands down. This thing is super smart. This is gonna be your check engine light, so if there is a failure, you can take a look here, and if there's a warning, like the exclamation point that we saw earlier, you're gonna see that in a different screen altogether. We're gonna have average speed, trip, oil temperature, your phone battery is gonna show up here if you've connected it via Bluetooth, your engine temperature, your fuel range, and then down here it's gonna tell you what gear you're in, what type of suspension setting that you're in. As far as performance modes go, it has a sport mode, a street mode, and a rain ride mode. It's got cornering ABS and supermoto ABS to give you the perfect amount of braking depending on the style of riding that you're doing. Just like we've seen on some of the adventure bikes of past, there's now a new storage compartment with USB charging hub, so your phone can connect with the bike and give you all of the heads-up display that you would like up on that TFT screen. This is showing us heated grips, and we're currently in suspension setting 1 rider with no luggage. The KTM My Ride allows you to connect your smartphone via Bluetooth for a cableless navigation and access to your music and all of your other phone's functions. If we go up to My KTM Ride, let's go ahead and select that, and we can do audio. When we go to navigation, it's gonna go ahead and go to your phone and take a look and see what app you're using for navigation. And then down here is where you're gonna pair your phone up to the bike so you can use all that stuff. So info button is gonna give you trip 1, trip 2. Basically, all these are gonna have basically the same information. You're gonna have your miles for the trip, average fuel used, average speed, the time you've been running on that particular trip, and your fuel range in miles. General info is gonna do the same thing, except it's gonna give you your battery voltage and it's gonna give you your oil temp. Tire pressure monitor system, it's gonna tell you what your front and rear tire pressures are, and if those go low, you're gonna get an exclamation point here on the dash. It's gonna give you a warning, and it's gonna flash low tire pressure. If there is a warning, you're gonna come into the warnings, it's gonna tell you what the warning is. So right now the side stand is down and it's definitely telling you you can't ride the bike without putting it up. Service intervals, it's gonna tell you when the next service is due in miles or a specific date that the service is due on if you haven't reached that mileage as of yet. The rider aids for 2019 include the Quick Shifter Plus for clutchless upshift and downshifting. It's lean angle sensitive motorcycle traction control, switchable ABS with Supermoto mode, and selectable ride modes for sport, street, and rain. When it comes to extra functions, this is where you're gonna see your other stuff. Right now, we just have the quick shifter engaged. If you have the track mode or the track package, that would show here as well, but this bike isn't currently set up with that particular extra. The motorcycle itself. So starting at the top, we've got heated grips. Do you want them off, high, or medium? Down here, we're gonna look at the load. So now you can set whether you wanna have one rider, rider and luggage, rider and passenger, rider, passenger and luggage. Dampening, you can choose exactly how the suspension is set up. Sport, street, or comfort. Traction control, do you want it on or do you want it off? ABS, do you want it road or Supermoto? And then the quick shifter, do you want the quick shifter on or off? You get to choose. Then we come down in here to settings. You can choose in your favorites exactly what you want to see. You can have the shift light. Let's take a look at that real quick. Do you want it to come on at 8,000 or 10,000 RPMs? And do you want it on at all? Daytime running lights. You can set those to be either on or off. Clock and date you can adjust. Units. Do you want it in miles or kilometers? Do you want it in Fahrenheit or Celsius? Do you want it in KPI or PSI? Language. Well, you get to choose whatever language you want. Heated grips, on or off. Heated seat for the rider, heated seat for the passenger, and corner light test. This allows you to test your corner lights, left or right, so you can see if they're functioning. Hit that key real quick and turn it down so we don't wear out the battery. This bike is phenomenal. Lots of new trick features for 2019. I'm Kyle Bratch from Chaparral Motorsports. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw today, give us a thumbs up. And if you want more action like this to come directly into your inbox, please hit that subscribe button and more importantly, the notification bell. Until next time, take care and ride safe.